South Africa's battle against violent crime has once again taken center stage. But this time, Parliament is warning that popular political calls may be missing the real solution. As billions of rands are set aside to fight organized crime, lawmakers are questioning whether deploying soldiers onto the streets can truly address a crisis that claims dozens of lives every single day. Here's what this debate means for public safety, the economy, and the future of crime prevention in South Africa. The context: crime, fear, and pressure. South Africa remains one of the world's most violent countries not at war. According to recent official statistics, an average of 74 people were murdered every day in the final quarter of the last reporting period. Robberies, extortion, gang violence, and organized crime continue to erode public confidence, particularly in hotspots such as Gauteng, the Western Cape, and parts of the Eastern Cape. This climate of insecurity has intensified public pressure on government to act decisively and visibly. One of the most common demands from communities, political leaders, and social media commentators has been clear: deploy the army. Budget response: billions for security. Responding to these concerns, Finance Minister Enoch Godangwana announced during the national budget that 1 billion rand would be allocated to the South African Police Service. Another 1 billion rand would be allocated to the South African National Defence Force. These funds will be used to fight organized crime and will flow through the Criminal Assets Recovery Account, meaning money seized from criminals will be reinvested into law enforcement operations. At the same time, total spending on peace and security is expected to rise from 268 billion rand in 2025-26 to over 291 billion rand by 2028-29. On paper, this represents a significant commitment to safety, but not everyone is convinced. Maimani's warning: popular but not effective. Speaking during a briefing by Parliament's Finance Cluster Committees, Musi Maimani, chairperson of the Standing Committee on Appropriations, offered a blunt assessment. He acknowledged that deploying the army is politically attractive, especially in moments of national fear, but he warned that it is not a fundamental solution to South Africa's crime crisis. In his words, the army does not investigate murders, solve cases, or secure convictions. Instead, SANDF deployments are tactical stopgaps, buying time for police rather than fixing broken systems. Here's what that means for South Africans. Section 4. The core problem: policing and convictions. While soldiers may patrol streets or support operations, crime is ultimately reduced through effective investigations, skilled detectives, strong forensic capacity, successful prosecutions. Maimani pointed out that South Africa's murder conviction rate sits at roughly 1 in 5. That means most killers are never held accountable. Experts warn that without improving detection and conviction rates, criminals simply adapt, returning once soldiers withdraw. In short, fear does not deter crime when consequences are unlikely. Economic impact: crime versus investment. Maimani also linked crime directly to economic decline. He warned that no serious investor will commit capital to a country where businesses face extortion, workers fear commuting, and infrastructure is sabotaged. This creates a dangerous cycle. Crime drives away investment. Lack of investment fuels crime. Breaking the cycle requires long-term institutional reform, not short-term deployments. SANDF role: what the army can and cannot do. Government has indicated that SANDF deployments will be funded under Section 16 of the Public Finance Management Act, which allows emergency spending. The army is expected to support SAPS operations in high-risk provinces. But even government acknowledges that the SANDF's role is supportive, not permanent. Soldiers are trained for combat and border protection, not community policing, investigations, or courtroom testimony. This limitation lies at the heart of Maimani's warning. Beyond crime: service delivery failures. Maimani also broadened the discussion, arguing that public safety cannot be separated from service delivery. He pointed to conditions at major hospitals such as Tembisa Hospital and Freya Hospital, where shortages of beds, oxygen, and basic resources have been reported. He argued that corruption in healthcare is not just financial misconduct, it is a direct threat to human life. When hospitals fail, trust in the state collapses. The long-term fix: people and prevention. According to Maimani, sustainable safety requires investment in more police officers and detectives, better training and equipment, functional courts and forensic labs, education infrastructure, including libraries, maths and science programs for young people. He warned that failing to invest in education today guarantees higher crime tomorrow, as young people are locked out of employment and opportunity. What happens next? Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Police is expected to receive detailed briefings from SAPS on SANDF deployments and their cost. Lawmakers will also scrutinize whether crime funding improves results, not just visibility. The key question remains: will billions spent today translate into safer streets tomorrow? While military deployments may offer short-term reassurance, lawmakers are urging South Africans to look beyond headlines and uniforms. The real battle against crime, they argue, will be won through strong policing, accountable institutions, effective justice, and investment in people. Until those foundations are fixed, soldiers on the streets may calm fears, but they will not end the crisis. That is the debate now unfolding at the heart of South Africa's security and economic future.